Welcome to part 2 of indie films and TV shows created by non-Struck studios that you should check out. So in this video I'm going to be talking about Carmilla, which is actually a web series.
Anyone remember Carmilla? The vampire, lesbian short series on YouTube. Each episode's literally less than 4 minutes long.
This is a modern retelling of the Carmilla story featuring a bunch of college students and the main character who is doing a report about her missing roommate, and Carmilla becomes her new roommate, but she doesn't know she's a vampire yet, obviously.
But if you weren't there, you should know that before Carmilla, the landscape for lesbian content was quite dry. And I can say that I think it definitely changed the standards for queer representation after it.
Guys, without further ado, please help me welcome to the stage Aaron Chartrand, Shannon Cook, Sharon Bell, Nicole Stamp, Caitlin Alexander, Annie Briggs, Natasha Nico-Valis, and Elise Darwin.
And if it isn't another one of my favorite humans, Spencer Maybee, our director, who's been with us since the very beginning, since season 1. Spencer has a really interesting way of directing. He has all these hand gestures that he makes and then kind of creates his own language.
Faces, coverage, and then a tui.
I'm Spencer Maybee. I directed Carmilla, season 1, 2, 3, and the movie. So when I got the call from my agent, they were like, oh yeah, do you want to take this meeting tomorrow about this thing? And I was like, sure, tell me a bit more about it. And they're like, oh, there's some stuff. I was like, well, send me the material. They sent me the material, and Steph, whose brainchild this was, had done a lot of thinking about it, and she was like, I want it should sort of vibe a little bit like Welcome to Night Vale, which was this podcast series that I'd never heard about. It's kind of tonally a little Buffy season 1. I was like, oh, I haven't watched enough Buffy, I got to rewatch that. And she's like, here's the this is the novel that it's based on. There was a lot of homework to do, and I had less than 16 hours to do all that. So I stayed up the whole night. I read the book. I listened to season 1 of Welcome to Night Vale. I watched a whole bunch more Buffy. I'm pretty sure I was sleep deprived in the interview, but I was really excited about it because of the single camera angle thing. It felt a little bit like a film school experiment. It's can you tell 36 episodes worth of story from one camera angle? For me, it was a joy of focusing on mise en scène and blocking and nuance in performance. So one of the things that I had to work with the actors on was making sure that as they got closer to the camera, the performances were more cinematic. So they're really kind of contained and not too big. But if they got further away, I needed them to get bigger and more theatrical because we couldn't see the nuance to their performance if they got 2 or 3 steps away. So we had this kind of this shorthand where it was kind of okay, as you're closer, more cinema, as you're further, more theater.
So I'm pretty sure I just failed my first test ever in my life. And yes, I know that college isn't as easy as high school, and my attention has probably been wandering due to living with a vampire, but still, I just feel dirty.
Ugh, what are you whining about now?
Nothing. I think I failed my lit midterm.
Hi, I'm Jordan Hall. I am a playwright and screenwriter currently based in Vancouver, BC. She, her, and I wrote the Carmilla web series and movie. I remember Elise as being, and again, these are the things that get you cast. She was one of the few people who had the right kind of, I'm going to pull you into this with me, because you needed the chemistry on both of them. Obviously, you needed but for me, I think one of the most critical things was Laura needed to be able to hold you.
There is just nothing like a good night's sleep, right, sleepyhead?
No.
Most of the time we were there with Laura and with that lens. And if she couldn't pull you in and keep you going in the way that the text was demanding, we were sunk.
we were originally looking at Natasha for the Laura role. But we both, like, after she came in an audition, we were like, oh yeah, she's not like that. She's definitely a vampire. She's not a human being.
You're annoying, but if you burn out from sleep deprivation, they'll probably replace you with someone even more OCD. The devil you know, you know?
You have to call me before you're about to
call you? Because it's like your job to keep me safe?
Yes.
What?
I care about you. Of course it's my job to keep you safe.
Well, I'm sorry that my making my own decisions and being reckless is making it hard for you to do your job.
I didn't mean it like that.
Yes, you did. You meant that Laura's too dumb to know what she can and can't handle and needs to be protected by the big, strong grown-ups. That's all anyone ever wants to say to me. My dad, the Zetas, you, everyone.
I have an ongoing vendetta against men who write women as though all they can do is sort of, I'll suffer and die. Like, in many ways, I don't know if I was thinking too much about like what the audience was going to get out of it. I think I was thinking for myself, I want her to have a different existence. And so here she was with her like epistolary mode and her kind of oversharing and her weird fascinations, but also like, what if underneath all that she's going to grow up? What if she gets agency? I think in so many ways, so much of my work is, yeah, but what if she gets agency? And then just like let her loose.
It was something I spoke on a lot during the Carmilla era or the Carmilla years, because as someone who grew up without much representation and who grew up with a lot of questions and confusion, it was really cool to sort of have that torch passed on to me.
I think I understood what was happening when fan art started to happen. Like when Steph started sending me emails of like, these are the drawings they did. This is this thing. And that was surreal.
We were telling basically a murder mystery. And that the cast just happened to be queer characters. And we really didn't want to make their queerness be a part of, like, it wasn't essential to the narrative, or it wasn't about that. And for me, it was just, I wanted to be a part of making some media where that was the case, where the characters that they were queer didn't matter. They're solving, people are dying here. There's a vampire, like, you know, there's more important things. But my hope is that people would watch it and have a good time and have a few laughs. But that if they came away with anything else, it would be that, you know, loving someone is worth it. It's fun.
If we are emotional about the final season of Carmilla, I can't imagine what it's like for you guys. What can you tell me about finishing off this season?
I don't know how to explain it. It was really, Spencer and Steph came up to us at the end of the last shot of the season. Like, they were like, do you think that we got it? Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, he asked us, you know, because they were going to offer us another take, and he was like, do you think we're done? And Elise and I just kind of looked at each other and just went, yeah.